first, I just want to thank you guys for joining us today. You know, this is our sort of spotlight and retrospective on the Mythgard Academy, which is now a very long-running program within the Signum universe. Mythgard Academy first started back in fall of 2003, and wasn't the Two Towers our very first elected class? Well, no, that wasn't elected. I appointed that one. Yeah, the Return of the King was the first election. Yeah, that was the last appointed.
Two short courses on Fellowship and Two Towers, but they were not elected.
That's right. Yeah, because I had done the Fellowship, and I announced the Two Towers one as a follow-up, like while we were doing that first fundraiser, and then the Return of the King was sort of elected kind of by acclaim. And the Vegas
bookies weren't taking any odds on what was going to be elected after you've done the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, over and under on the slides.
Right.
There were no. Yeah, it's mostly the over and under on the slides. Exactly.
Right. Oh, hang on a second. I got to unmute Yana again. Okay. Yana, I've got you unmuted there. Sorry about that. So we should be able to. You can just unmute yourself when you want to pitch in here.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to you know, love to just kind of hear from you guys. What are some of your sort of favorite memories from the Mythgard Academy? All the books that we've done over the years and the many discussions that we've had. What are some of the things that really kind of stick with you over time?
The repressed Victorian sex rant in Dracula. That was a big favorite.
Which one? Yeah. No, Dracula was so much fun. I loved that entire class. Of course, Dracula's been one of my favorites for a long time, and just both the book discussion that we had, and then looking at some of the films afterwards. I've never sat down with Nosferatu like we did, and that was hilarious. But
we still have to get you that hat.
Yeah, I do still need that hat. But if I wear that hat, no one will recognize me because it's the perfect disguise, obviously.
I do think we should make a rule that you should cosplay each time you give a lecture.
We always got the Boethius costume.
Perfect.
Yes.
My favorite.
I think my favorite book so far has been Watership Down because it's one that I hadn't read yet, and because it doesn't have magic or spaceships in it. But I really enjoyed it, and so I'm really glad that we did, because I possibly would have put it off forever otherwise.
Yeah, that's great. I'm really glad that you read. Sorry, Yana, go ahead.
What since we're talking about Dracula, I really liked, the cruel delight that you took when I commented on Dracula's foreign accent, and then you hinting at that there might be a Dutch character coming up, and you were wondering about my comments regarding that?
Yes. I was keenly anticipating Jana's commentary on Van Helsing's Dutch accent in Dracula.
Or lack of it?
Oh, come on. It's fun. It's fun. I know. It's probably less fun for the Dutch. I know.
It's my favorite invented word for the Academy class of my own devising, Van Helsinglish. I think it describes it really well.
Right.
You naming one of your slides in, I think it was our final class, Van Helsinglish was... that paid it back. So thank you.
Yeah. Great. How about you, Ed?
Most of my memories are of the nomination process and the discussions on the discussion board about which books to nominate, and there's some passionate people out there who push a number of books, some of which were successful and some of which weren't. And since I count the votes, I tend not to participate in the lobbying for books. I broke that once with Watership Down because it's one of my all-time favorite books. I know it's one of yours too, yes. Corey, and I think we have the distinction of both having gone to the actual place.
Yes.
In response to our love of the book. I wonder if there's anybody else out in the audience who's ever actually been to Watership Down. So that kind of, I really enjoyed. I listened to the book twice as we were going through the course. And of course, going through the history of Middle Earth. I mean, that is not something one would do just randomly, but it's good to have been forced to have read through those books in order and take a good look at them. I think that's been a really valuable process in gaining insight into how how Tolkien's creative process worked over the years. That's been outstanding.
It really has. I mean, I definitely would say it's one of the major things that has really enriched my own understanding as we've gone through. I mean, I've never done that before. I've never even really realistically considered that I ever would, go through and study the entire history of Middle Earth, chapter by chapter straight through. And it's been, people used to joke about that, back in my podcast, 8 years ago or something. And it's been really neat, actually, to be able to do it. And it has been an incredible learning experience. I really agree. Yeah.
And just think, Corey, in 8 years, when we're in the middle of the Two Towers on exploring the Lord of the Rings, you'll be able to make a similar statement about this.
It's true. It really is. It's kind of increasingly alarming, the sort of pace we're in exploring the Lord of the Rings now. But,
Pace isn't the word.
Yeah. Pace is perhaps an overambitious word.
I was thinking we were going to get to Rivendell by Christmas, but I don't even know whether we're going to get to Bree by Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Christmas with the Barrow-wights.
Yeah, we might still be with the Barrow. I think we might get to Bree. We might get to Bree by Christmas. Hey Ed, I've got your PowerPoint working here.
Shocking.
So there we go. Got it sorted out here in the background. Okay. So yes, with the thinking about Myth Mood 4. So Ed, of course, for those of you who Ed has been very behind the scenes in a lot of things. Ed has been the chair of the Council of the Wise ever since the beginning. He's the hired for the position because he had a mind of metal and wheels and has been making this whole nomination and election process function over the last 4 years here. So Ed, thanks for putting this together and showing us a few things. So just to explain, do you want to walk through it, Ed, or?
Oh, just the obvious. If you donate $100 or more, or the equivalent in monthly donations, you get to participate in the council, which nominates courses. We're going to start the nomination process pretty soon for the next course, and it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to use a different platform, trying to get everything set up. You get to vote to nominate which work you want, and then everyone who donates any money gets to vote on which one gets studied, and you vote your donation. So the more you vote, the more your vote counts. So like voting stock in a corporation. The weird thing, though, is because I do get to see the votes, you would think that the people with, high dollar donations and thus lots of votes would swing the thing. But it's an interesting statistical result that doesn't work. I actually tabulate the results as if it was one man, one vote, and if it's voting your dollars, and I tabulate them both, and they're both almost always the same.
That's
and I don't think any book has ever won because the high donors have pushed it away statistically different than the electorate. So,
right.
But nevertheless, that's kind of the way we do it. The nomination process is fun because there's a lot of discussion.
Right. Yeah, that's great. That is very interesting to see. Good to see that our donors are sort of operating within, sort of following the general democratic trending there too. That's interesting. Cool. Cool. And
I think the next slide is just the works we've done so far in order.
Yep, 17 books. Not counting those first two, The Fellowship of the Ring and The Return of the King. This is from our first election. And
as people can see, there has been a pattern to the books. We're going through the Tolkien corpus in order in publication order, with the exception, of course, of The Hobbit and The Silmarillion, which have been studied in other venues. But what will be book 18? It'll be a non-Tolkien book. So the next slide are some of the ones that have gotten a bunch of votes, but have never really quite pushed past the finish line.
Yeah.
I'm particularly fond of To Say Nothing of the Dog, which I think is one of the funniest books that I've read in ages. And a cat plays a fairly major role in it, so what's not to like, really? So if you out there want to elect any of these books for our next book, all you need to do is to participate in the nomination process is to donate $100 or more to the program, and in the next week or so we'll be reaching out to you to get you set up for the nomination process.
That's right. And that counts recurring donations too, by the way. So when you make a recurring donation, we sort of count that as an annual pledge. So, so if you donate $10 a month, say, that puts you at over 100 for the year. So a $10 a month donation will get you onto the Council of the Wise to be part of the nomination discussion. Yeah.
And I think that's basically it for the slides. I just wanted to list the books.
Yeah, that's great. That's excellent. Yeah, some links there. Cool. Very good. Well, yeah, the Mythgard Academy has been, for me, some of the most exciting things. Certainly doing the history of Middle-earth has been just a remarkable experience for me. But also, the two of the moments that really stand out for me are new books, right? Twice when the electorate has chosen books that I had never read before, one of which was Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and the other of which was The Dispossessed by Ursula Le Guin, both of which I enjoyed tremendously, and I think that they are, I had a wonderful time reading and discussing my way through those. It's such a great way for me to discover a book for the first time, is really just to kind of jump in and immerse myself in it with you guys. I see we got a bunch of nominating going on, suggestions pouring out in the Twitch chat there. Yeah, you guys should get on this nomination process here. Very cool stuff. What would some of you guys like to see? Sorry, Karita, go ahead.
I was about to say that Kindred by Octavia Butler is one that I'm kind of pulling for, because I have not read it, but I've heard lots of good things, and I'm kind of waiting to read it to see if I can get some friends to read with me. And also Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis, because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I would be excited for Till We Have Faces too. Yeah, but no, that's exactly what I was going to ask. What are some other things that you guys would like to see us do? And anyone else? I know Ed mentioned To Say Nothing of the Dog, which is, I know, one that he's been excited about. Tom or Yana, do you guys have any other books that you guys are thinking of that you would hope that we do at some point?
I'd love to see us do The King of Elfland's Daughter, The Odyssey, any number of other ones, because The Odyssey is just like right up our alley.
Right. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Cat's laughing because the crickets are coming back. They're making a return over there. It's all good. Yana, what were you thinking about?
That one's inside.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's all good. Yana, what were you thinking of?
guys hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. There you go.
I'm having some issues here.
Okay, nope, you're coming through now.
Oh, there. I have a childhood favourite book that I've been suggesting in the participants chat. Some from in English as Nobody's Boy. And I would really like to do that one at some point. It's about an orphan boy who gets sold to a circus artist. It was my favourite book until I discovered Tolkien.
Right. Cool. Cool.
It'd be interesting to do some translated works at some point.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Away a bit from the English literature.
That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. We've only done one book in translation so far. That is Boethius from Latin. But no, it would be great. It would be really interesting to sort of spread out in some of these other ways. So yeah, very good. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining me. For those of you who haven't been involved in the Mythgard Academy, you can find any of our previous courses. All of the stuff, all the discussions that we've done are up on our YouTube channel. You can look at the Mythgard Academy playlist, and there are playlists set up for each one of the different books that we've covered. So you can always catch up that way. There's the Mythgard Academy podcast feed as well, where you can get the audio if you're an audio only kind of person. So thanks guys for joining me. I'm really looking forward to, Ed, go ahead.
One last thing, wanted to remind everybody, if you're attending live, there's a chat that we use, and a lot of interesting discussion goes on in the chat. We play a little game. Every time Corey mentions one of your questions or comments that you type in, that gives you 1 point. And anytime you make him burst out laughing, you get 2 points, and then we figure out who wins the game. It's like sitting in the back of the class and passing notes during lecture, which I know we've all done at some time in our case. So join us in the chat if you attend live, and you too can get credit for making Corey burst out laughing.
Yeah. Talking ago, I was thinking the same thing. It does sound like a Mythgard Academy drinking game there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how reputable that game is, but that's great. Very good. Okay.
It goes on for a very long time.
Right, I bet. Excellent. Yeah. Well, I know that there has been a really great community of folks who have been part of that live chat window for a while now. Going back several years now since we started that. So I always like to have that opportunity for you guys to hang out and really sort of form that community there.
Yeah. The community is a really great group of people. I remember the very first time I joined in the chat, you can get laughs for jokes that will get you blank stares anywhere else in your life. You kind of find your people, and it's like a magical tribe online. I highly encourage people to find the chat window. It's a good time.
Yeah, excellent. All right.
Just expect a lot of puns.
Right, yeah, a lot of puns. Yeah, exactly. That is
especially from Arthur.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say, and actually, I wanted to thank the chat room for absorbing a lot of Arthur's puns because it helps to shelter me from a certain percentage of Arthur's puns. So I think that's a very valuable public service that you're performing there in the chat room.
Well, you're welcome, Corey.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
I appreciate it. Okay. All right. Well, it is almost time for our Star Trek discussion, so we should push along here. I've been looking forward to this. So, thanks everybody for joining us. And again, I hope to to see more people joining us as we move forward. We'll be moving into a new election process pretty soon, right, Ed?
Yeah, there's technical issues that need to dealt with, but hopefully this week we'll be getting emails out for people.
Awesome. Very good. All right. Excellent. So thanks very much, everybody, and we will see you guys around. We'll see you guys on Wednesday nights as usual. So thanks for joining me.
Bye.